the products, all that kind of stuff. I didn't even want to get in. I wanted one thing in the kit. I wanted to buy it. The lady talked me into the kit because it was $30 more than the one product I wanted. And then I wanted her to go away, and she didn't. So that's a whole other story, but I had a party, and then my husband wanted me to do a party instead of just have a party, and I ended up having fun doing the party, and it just snowballed from there. So here I am doing a cooking demonstration, which for those of you that know me is pretty amusing in itself. So anyway, but I want to talk about the pressure cooker because, well, first off, Pam just told you it is one of the host bonuses for the next 2 weeks. And if you don't have one, you need to get your own with that host bonus situation because you need to demo this for the fall and the winter. This is like the most amazing thing ever as far as soups or fast dinner. If you want to make it in a crock pot, you want to make it in a pressure cooker because this thing is quick, it's easy, it's a one pot everything. And it has, so how many of you have ever experienced the old-fashioned pressure cookers on the stove with the little thing that spins around and whistles, and you kind of stand in the other room and hope it doesn't blow up? And yeah, I remember I lived in a foster home for a while, and she canned. And she also had, I was in my teens, but she had 2 3-year-old twins, and when she was canning with the pressure cooker, they weren't allowed in the kitchen. Because she was afraid something was gonna, it was always a crapshoot, honestly. Maybe it would stay together and maybe it wouldn't, and it was scary, and if it made a mess, it made a big mess. So I'm gonna make potato soup in this, and this is the simplest thing. This recipe is in your packet, so you can look at it, and if I don't do something right, you can tell me. And there are people in here that would love to tell me that I wasn't doing it. So you start out with 5 or 6 potatoes that you cut up, and I did this last night. And I called Nancy Lagan yesterday because I cook. But I didn't know, I had always thought that if you cut up potatoes early, that then they turn that gross color, and I didn't want to do that to you this morning. So, and she said, no, if you put them in cold water right away and you put them in the refrigerator, they'll last up to 3 days. Now, I don't want to really last up to 3 days, but 12 hours was okay. So you cut up your potatoes, then you put them in there. Now, this has a fill line, that's a max fill line. So what you do with that is you take the water, and you fill it up. Always make sure that no matter what you have in here, if it's meat, if it's vegetables, that the water comes up to the maximum fill line, but that it covers everything in there because it needs to cover it up. Now, this is a fun thing. And so we have these two new products. We have the big mandolin, but then we've got the speedy mando, and now we got the grater, which is great because these things, you can set them right over the top of a bowl or a pan, or, conveniently enough, the pressure cooker. And in this recipe, you just want to put some carrots in there. Now, if you're at a party and you're doing this, you let other people do it because they really can't believe how simple it is. You put that in there, and you just go back and forth. And those carrots go right down in, oh, that's so cool. Goes right down in the pressure cooker. I get fascinated really easy by cooking things. And you can, I know, it's so bad. So you can put them in here to where they're standing up, and you can do more than one at a time. This is really cool. This is a fun thing to do with celery and carrots because you can put the carrot inside the celery stalk. Okay, this fun things to do with your kids or your grandkids. And then you just go back and forth. And this is one of those things where it's hard to hurt yourself because you keep this on top. And you do it. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible because some of us can hurt ourselves no matter what we're doing. But, all right, so we have all those carrots in there, which was cool. And then we're going to do some onions in this, too. So it's not messy, except that I kind of threw things over the place, but that's okay. But what I was going to talk about was if you're at a party and you're doing this, you let other people do it. If you don't have a party, because that happens, this is a great thing to do live. And if live isn't in your comfort zone right now, get rid of that mindset and keep going because lives aren't hard. And people like to watch you go live. People will watch a live video of anything. And if you don't believe that, check out some of the live videos on Facebook. I have seen people watch live videos of people opening clams or whatever for pearls. I don't know what that is, but they have like 487 views, you know. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Just all kinds of live videos. And if you can get a kid in the video, you're golden. You know, kid or a dog, and you got it made. So if you know, if you can get your kid up here doing this, there's going to be 1,000 people watch that video. So we put this in here, put that in there. Most of this other you put in afterwards because then you. I am going to check because I know how I am. Yep. Okay. So when you put the lid on the pressure cooker, you match up the arrows. There's arrows on the top and there's arrows on the side. That's the magic, right? So there's this little pokey thing at the top. You know how the Butterball turkeys have a little thing that pop up and down? Yeah, that's what this is. It starts up, and as it gets pressure, it comes up like in the microwave. When you take it out of the microwave, as the pressure releases inside, it goes down. So when it goes all the way down, you open this up. Do not take this out of the microwave and open it up. It's a recipe for disaster. So you snap it down. It also has another pressure release over here in case, this thing is impossible to blow up. They tried, and it just wouldn't do it. So then you put this in the microwave for like 15 to 20 minutes. You take it out, and I'm not going to stand here and talk for 20 minutes. You're all welcome. But you put it in the microwave, and when it comes out and the pressure releases, you open it back up, and I'll add the rest of the ingredients, and it should be ready by lunch so that you can smell it and maybe take a taste if everything's going good. The only other thing that I wanted to say is, like I talked about the fill line, this will make a full meal with like a roast or meat for 2 to 4 people. It'll make a side dish for 4 to 6 people, 8 people, depending on your people. So, you know, that's what somebody said to me, well, can you make a meal in it? Yes. If you can do a crock pot meal, you can do a pressure cooker meal. And it comes out so, so good. And it's great for, you know, if you have kids, you can do it while you're helping them with their homework or getting them ready for bed or going to the infamous soccer game or, you know, picking them up after school. If you put this in your microwave, and you have to run and go get the kids from school or go to practice or whatever, when you come back, it's done. Even if you've left it in the microwave, the pressure's going to go ahead and release. You can come home, you can open it up, and things stay hot in here for a really long time. So if you're going to like a tailgate party or even just an outdoor like a bonfire or something, and you want to make soup like the potato soup, you can make that, take it with you, and when you open it up there, it's still going to be hot, it's going to be good, and people are going to want to know where you got it. Now, one other thing before I put it in the microwave. You're like, okay, well, that's all well and good, but I don't have one of those. Okay, so you're here today. Take a picture of yourself with one of the 5 of them that are around the studio, right? Put that picture on Facebook and say, want to know how to get this for, I think the first one was $59, okay? Want to know how to get this for $59? And leave it at that. When people say something or comment on it, then send them to, if you're real brave, you can do a video and send them to your YouTube link on how to do it. If you're me, you're just going to answer them. But if, like I have a business page and a private group, I will invite them to my private group or my business page, and I will do videos on there. If you don't have this, do a video with something else and talk about, you know, do a video with something that you actually have. You all have a kit, so use the Power Chef and make, you know, salsa to go with the tacos that you could make in the pressure cooker. And then tell them, you know, I don't want anybody. I told a lady that came in here the other day. She was talking about the pressure cooker, and she goes, but I'm afraid of them. And I said, you know what, you would love this, but I don't want you to buy this and leave it in the box. I said, that's the saddest thing in the world for me to sell a $150 fantastic product and call you 2 months later and you say, well, I haven't even opened it. I said, so if you buy something like that, if you buy one of our high-end hero products, I want to come and show you and maybe you know, your family or a couple of your friends how to use it when you get it so that it doesn't just sit in the box. And she was like, oh, you do that? And I said, yeah, and if you're not comfortable with that or if you live too far away, you can do it here. You bring a couple of your friends and come here, we'll do it here, I'll show you how to use it so everybody's comfortable with it. make a long story short on that one, she actually decided to sign up and learn how to use it herself, which was great, but I think I still have to show her how to use it. But anyway, okay, so I'm gonna put this in the microwave and we're gonna go on to